Just when we thought the drought of non-content would never end in the racing game universe, boom! Here comes Turn 10 with some brand new information about Forza Motorsport and all the must-have facts ready to save the day. Right? Well, with some of the newly released information, it is safe to say that it is time to start worrying about how the future of Forza Motorsport may look like. And with that, welcome back to Overtake. Exciting times should have been ahead. Forza Motorsport 8, or as we now call it, Forza Motorsport, was teased for quite a while now. And we finally, well, know just a bit more. The first we saw of the game was a trailer and company of the Xbox Series X and S release. Back then, the game appealed through an insane amount of graphical detail and other promising visuals. While Forza Motorsport 7 was not the peak of the series' history as we remember it, the newest iteration is supposed to be more in touch with what the fans came to love about it in the past. Fans also came to love us in the past. If you are not one of them already, then clicking the like button, subscribing, and tapping the bell should fix this little problem in no time. In the years since, a bit of frustration has started to build up with the avid FM followers. Microsoft was rather tight-lipped about the development, and until another reveal in June of 2020, almost 2 years have passed. Then came the traditional Microsoft show with new gameplay and trailers, and we were introduced to some of the newly added or improved features of Forza Motorsport. Turn 10 really promised a complete overhaul of what they described to be the most exciting racing game yet. Ambitious, but not undoable for a series with so much history. This brings us to where we are today. A big livestream was announced where the newest revelations was supposed to be revealed. I was sitting there like, come on, they're gonna give us everything we want. But in the end, yeah, as it's tradition with Microsoft, we got an in-depth developer interview today with large insights into multiple games, one being, of course, Forza Motorsport. The presentation started off with some really cool key facts about the game. For example, we now know that FM will feature just over 500 vehicles at release, which should beat out GT7 by a bit more than 100. Very exciting is also that 100 of these cars are apparently all new to motorsport games in general. What exactly that means and if it's really true wasn't clarified. Hard to imagine, as all the trailer footage includes well-known rides. But I'm here to be surprised, and hopefully that will be the case here as well. Some beautiful shots of GT2, GT3, and hypercar racing were revealed, accompanied with some announcements, like the inclusion of Kia Lamy and Suzuka into the game. Here as well, the wording told the viewer that just over 20 environments were in the game, which I suppose is English for tracks, and 5 of them which are supposed to be all new to motorsports again. I sure hope that the actual track list is more than 20, because that does sound a little small for a Simcade title. Speaking of Simcade though, the lingo of the devs heavily implied a stronger focus on sim racing in the newest title, even though the scenes shown may differ.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little...
Stuff like tire temperatures, rubbering in of the track, more in-depth damage, and even laser-scanned circuits are a heavy indicator we will see a stronger focus on the more serious side of driving this title, which would definitely be a favorable thing for the series. Not only are we supposed to go more on the sim side, but most of the screen time of the dev talk was given to the beautiful graphics. You really have to call it that. A phrase the devs keep on using is that Forza Motorsport is supposed to use the full potential of the Xbox Series X and S. So while getting dive bombed, I can now inspect the damage down to the last scratch on the windshield. Perfect. But jokes aside, I think the promise here could be true. This does look incredible. Certainly on the level of GT7, and that's the big measuring stick when it comes to this release, right? But after all this hype, the big question has to be answered. When are we getting our hands on this bad boy? Oh, no way. I don't know what the deal may be with the release around Forza Motorsport, but still not having a concrete date of release makes me kind of nervous. Don't forget, we have now done 2 videos highlighting the release of FM. Originally, it was supposed to release in 2022, which got pushed back a whole year. Information, as I said earlier, was very slow. And now we still don't have any idea as to when all of this is getting brought to the market. All this talk of graphical detail and the most advanced racing game yet really only means anything if you give people a concrete date to look forward to. Otherwise, it's just showing off annually how far you came in your marketing. Not very impressive. It also lets the devs kind of look a little less credible when they say all the positive things about Forza Motorsport. Because if the game was originally supposed to release a whole year back, with all the features now included as well, and yet we don't know any more today, it indicates that there is a problem. So what is it then? Is it all the graphical detail that takes its toll? Are the physics broken? Or do you have licensing issues? All of these are possibilities, but we can only speculate. A bit more transparency may help, because this is now the 3rd event we get to know a bit more about Forza Motorsport, and we still don't have any tangible release. Listen, I'm the last person to nag on devs if they take a little more time in development. I am in the forefront in the fight against games that release half-ready. But what I absolutely despise is the marketing of, yeah, this year's gonna be the year, guys. It's gonna release. Please believe us. If you need more time in development, why don't you state that? And don't ignore the elephant in the room and dance around the topic of release all the time. The things said by Turn 10 make it seem like Forza Motorsport will be the future of racing games. Unfortunately, it could be in the very far future, as far as we know. Although coming in 2023 is mentioned, something like this was promised before. So in the meantime, I guess we just have to wait and see. Guys, I don't know about you, but I feel bummed out. To up your mood, if you feel as I do, you could click on this video to watch some actually awesome news on the latest esports series powered by ESL. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, cheerio.